They are loved, idolized, and pursued as if they were public property. But what happens when fans' affection crosses the line? When a touch becomes an invasion and love becomes suffocation? Today, you're going to see 5 moments when major Korean actors lost control and were extremely rude to fans. Stay with me until the end. The last case was the most concerning. Park Bo-gum is that type of actor who seems to have been born to be loved. Polite, calm, always smiling, he became the standard of the perfect son that every Korean mother would like to have at home. But one day that smile disappeared, and it was precisely when he was surrounded by the people who idolize him most, the fans. The episode happened in 2016 during a trip to the Philippines, and to this day is remembered as one of the rare moments when the public saw the tired side of the actor. As soon as he lands at the airport, the scene quickly spirals out of control. It's not just people calling his name, it's a sea of bodies trying to get close. Fans push each other, block the way, raise cell phones almost glued to his face. Some try to touch him, grab his clothes, pull his arm. The security guards do their best to clear a path, but Park Bo-gum is visibly tense. Instead of his wide smile, he closes his face, furrows his brow, lowers his eyes, and walks faster and faster. Someone films the scene and the video hits the internet. In a few minutes, there are already people commenting, "He's being cold, he didn't even look at the fans, he changed after he got famous." It's always like this. Those who only see 10 seconds of footage think they can understand everything that happened. Some local fans, however, begin to report the other side. They say the crowd was aggressive, that there were children being pushed, that no one respected the minimum distance. For many people, the actor's expression wasn't one of arrogance, but of fear and discomfort. The Korean press also entered the discussion and, instead of crucifying the actor, questioned the fans' behavior. How long will this idolatry that crosses the line be treated as something normal? The concept of sasayang, that obsessed fan who totally invades the artist's life, returned to the center of the conversation. Park Bo-gum, who had always been known for treating each fan with delicacy, became an example of yet another victim of the culture that transforms people into public property. The most curious thing is that he himself didn't make a drama out of it. He didn't appear giving sermons, didn't record a video complaining. On the contrary, he followed the schedule, participated in the event, and in later interviews, continued thanking the public for their support. This airport episode didn't destroy Park Bo-gum's image, but it took away some of the illusion. It showed that, behind the perfect face and impeccable behavior, there is a human being who also gets tired, gets scared, and closes off when he feels invaded. And perhaps that's the most important point. It wasn't the actor who was rude to the fans. It was the fans who, by forgetting that he is human, forced his smile to disappear. Park Seo-joon has always been seen as one of Korea's most polite and professional actors. He rarely gets involved in controversies, speaks little about his personal life, and seems to live exclusively for work. But in 2023, a simple gesture made his reputation waver. During a promotional recording alongside Park Bo-young, co-stars and longtime friends, he refused a gift offered by his partner, which had been given by a fan, and the moment was interpreted by part of the public as a sign of rudeness. That was enough, a small gesture off script for the networks to start calling him cold and arrogant. The video was short. Park Bo-young tries to put a hairband, which was the fan's gift, on Park Seo-joon in a relaxed moment between filming. He refuses, smiles awkwardly, and says something like, "No need, I'm fine like this." For any ordinary person, it would be a polite refusal, but the internet doesn't forgive naturalness. In a few hours, the clip went viral on TikTok and Korean forums with sensationalist captions, "Park Seo-joon humiliates Park Bo-young in public." Some fans said he showed a lack of respect. Others thought his reaction was completely normal. When the actor finally spoke about the episode, he was direct. "There was no bad intention. We've been friends for years, and it was just a misinterpreted joke." Even so, the criticism had already been made. The Korean public has an extreme sensitivity to the line between humility and arrogance. One smile less, a drier tone, and suddenly the idol becomes a villain. Park Seo-joon became the target of malicious comments for weeks, until Park Bo-young herself had to come to his defense, saying that the situation was taken out of context and that there was no disrespect at all. This case reveals something bigger about celebrity culture in Korea, the absolute control of image. Actors live as prisoners of an almost impossible expectation, to always be kind, docile, and perfect. Park Seo-joon, who had always maintained an exemplary posture, paid dearly for a simple, spontaneous gesture. The public's analytical gaze transformed politeness into coldness, and the internet did what it does best, judged without thinking. In the end, the controversy didn't destroy his career, but it served as a cruel reminder that even likability can be charged as a debt. Park Seo-joon continues to be one of the most admired faces in Korean entertainment, but things don't seem to be the same. IU is, for many people, the definition of Korean perfection. She sings, acts, writes, enchants. She's the type of artist who seems unreachable and at the same time incredibly close. But even she, Korea's darling, symbol of delicacy, had a moment when her patience ran out. And it was precisely because of the fans. In 2023, during her arrival in Manila, again in the Philippines, chaos began even before she left the arrival gate. Hundreds of fans crowded together, shouting her name, pushing each other, trying to touch her, filming up close, very similar to what had happened with her friend Park Bo-gum. The scenario was suffocating. IU, accustomed to crowds, lost her smile. The cameras captured a tense look, a rigid body, and an expression no one expected to see from her, pure discomfort. In seconds, the networks divided, half thinking she was cold, half horrified by the fans' behavior. And the worst came after. Some videos showed fans trying to force physical contact, others blocking the artists and the team's passage. In the midst of this turmoil, IU continues in silence. She doesn't scream, doesn't react, but the way she avoids looking, how she shrinks, how she quickens her pace, says it all. She was fed up. When the video went viral, fans began to debate whether she had changed, whether fame had gone to her head. But the truth was simpler and sadder. IU hadn't changed. It was the people who had crossed the limits. Days later, her team issued a statement asking for respect, saying that the artist was deeply shaken by the invasive behavior and that measures would be taken to ensure safety. And it was only then that part of the public realized the magnitude of the violence disguised as affection. The same idol who for years had treated each fan like family now needed to protect herself from them. IU's case is a perfect portrait of the emotional exhaustion that many artists face. Being an idol in Korea means living under constant surveillance. Fans track flights, follow cars, try to discover addresses, all in the name of love. But love without limits becomes obsession. And IU, even being one of the country's most beloved figures, showed that there is no infinite patience. The Manila video still circulates on the networks. Some look and see coldness, others see humanity. What no one can deny is that that tense look of IU, tired, scared, and sad, revealed a truth that the public doesn't like to face. Sometimes those who say they love the artist most are precisely the ones who make them feel fear. Park Shin-hye has always been sold to the public as the good girl of dramas. The girl who cries easily, who endures everything in silence, and who seems like the type of person who would hug any fan in the middle of the street. That's why, when a rumor began to circulate that she had thrown away a fan's gift at the airport, many people simply went into shock. How could Korea's sweetheart have done something so cold? The story goes something like this. She traveled to Taiwan for an event with fans. Upon arrival at the airport, that classic scene. Screams, signs, cell phones, people pushing just to get closer. In the midst of this chaos, a fan hands over a gift. Later, comments appear online saying that someone saw the gift being discarded shortly after, away from the camera flashes. No one knows exactly who saw it. No one shows the moment happening, but the rumor explodes. From one moment to the next, Park Shin-hye goes from cute to ungrateful. In Korean culture, a fan gift is not just a token. It's almost a symbol of devotion. There are people who save for months to buy something, send a letter, personalize the wrapping. So the idea of an actress simply throwing it in the trash ignites any fan's worst fear. Is everything she shows a lie? Discussions begin in forums, comments on social networks, people saying they'll never support the actress again. After a few days of silence, Park Shin-hye herself decides to respond. She says she would never throw away a gift in that way, that everything she receives is forwarded to the agency or taken by the team, and that if something was discarded, it wasn't out of contempt. But here's the thing. When the internet decides to believe one version, the official explanation often seems weak. Part of the fans accept it. Another part remains suspicious to this day. The episode leaves an invisible mark. Her image remains strong, her career continues, new dramas, new commercials, but something changes in the way the public looks at her. Suddenly, Park Shin-hye stops being just the perfect girl and becomes someone who can also be judged, misinterpreted, spoken ill of. And like it or not, this rumor becomes material for discussions about fame, idolatry, and how much fans really know their idols. In the end, no one knows with 100% certainty what happened to that gift. What remains is the strange feeling that an anonymous comment, a loose phrase in a forum, is enough to transform any gesture into proof of character. And perhaps the most uncomfortable thing is this: the idea that, for a Korean star, even what she does away from the cameras can come back as a weapon in the fan's own hand.